into the kitchen sink. We will chat, we will make you think. You will not want to go to the loo. You could miss a lot if you had that poo. Stay and watch and join in. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Welcome to the kitchen sink. I'm Sarah and this is Lucy. There she is. Brilliant. And if you're new to us, we are a comedy chat show. We just have a bit of a laugh, a bit of a giggle, and a bit of chat about everything and anything. And we are coming to you from all over the place. We got Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Yes. Hi. And we got one of everything. Woo. Hello. So I want to say hello to our regulars. Hello, Hugh. Been well missed, mate. Where have you been? Last 2 weeks. New you and all that. Hello, Hugh. And we got the keeper of the gates. Hello. It says, I've been waiting all day for this. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. So have I. And we got Ray. Ray's awake, everyone. Hello, Ray. Well done. On time. And you've shared the stream. Thank you so much. So if this is your first time, oh my gosh, we got a new format tonight because our guest is coming along at 8 p.m. Reasons that we're keeping to ourselves, keep all mystical. But we have got a new segment called What I've Learned with the fantastic Charlie Thomas. So that's coming up soon. You might remember Charlie because we learned a lot from her last time, didn't we? All sorts of stuff. Lots of. I don't know what she's going to tell us this week, Lucy, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Can't wait. So, Lucy, how are you? How's things? How's your week been?
It's very pathetic. At the moment, 2020 is testing me slightly.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've lowered my standards in life.
I think any lower.
Turns out,
always can get lower.
So today I've been waiting for this day since October. I have finally bonded with my truck and I have put the Britney Spears keyring on. Britney is my truck! Little tiny victories!
Why? Can you tell us the reason behind Britney? What's that all about?
She's not new. She's a bit of an old girl.
Right.
She has quirks and she's had people that haven't treated her well in the past, but I'm here now.
Oh, you can look up.
I shouted at the truck a few times during the first week I met her. Please work, bitch, which is one of my favourite Britney songs.
I love that Britney song. I love it so much. That song got me through a half marathon, you know.
That song's gotten me through days when I haven't wanted to get dressed.
I'm afraid to sing it in case we get taken off the air because I'm not sure.
Because we're pitch perfect.
Yeah, that's the only reason. I'm very good at singing.
The algorithm hound would be like,
yeah. Hello? Time to reject people. Oh, good, yeah. Oh, cool. So your truck is called Britney.
My truck is called Britney.
Is she going to kill you? Is she going to be a serial murderer? Or do you feel safe inside her?
I feel really, really safe. All the gears are right and the brakes are right and everything is amazing. And I'm just like, oh, God, it's everything I wanted. Just that lack of death.
It's a big plus when it comes to day-to-day work, isn't it? My employer.
I don't mind my fellow employees trying to kill me because that's just working in a man's world, as they call it. But the truck is meant to be on my side. It's the relationship between a driver and his truck is very much like Lucy and a dragon.
What's that now?
It's very much like Calusi and the dragon. It's very much like.
I thought I heard you say that killing fields. Pretend for a moment I'm going to fucking clue what that is.
It's Game of Thrones. It's the Queen of Dragons.
Oh, right. Okay. I haven't watched it yet. I still haven't watched it. Believe it or not, we have got Matt Goss in the house.
Hype train.
What?
Sarah, enough about me. What go on?
What go on? Well, I gotta say, right, let me tell you. Again, I've ramped it up way too high. It is we're third week in January, and I'm so ready for January to be over. I'm done. Yeah. I'm done with January. Yeah. I was looking forward to the presidential inauguration. That's been the highlight of my month, frankly. That's how my January is going. I'm like, come on, let it be February already. February is my birthday month. We don't have birthdays any year, do we? We have birth months.
Yes.
And, and it started, actually I should bring it up. My friend sent me my birthday present already. My birthday's on the 24th of February. I'm tempted to do a reveal online.
1 second. I'm not writing this in my phone. 24th of February.
Yeah. Well, she messaged me last week and said, expect a lovely gift in the post. Marks and Spencer, thank you very much. And I'm like, lovely, what for? She said, for your birthday. Now, I'm like, that's organised. And I'm refusing to tell her when my birthday is because she should know. We've known each other for 10 years. Thank you very much for the gates. Thank you. We'll know about it because it'll be every week in February. I'm going to be definitely birthday month all the way. So but I just think it's hilarious because I quite often get her birthday wrong, like which day it is, but to get it like a full 6 weeks early, I think I don't know if she's making a point or if it's like, get the date of my birthday right, bitch. But I don't think so. I think she's genuinely just like, she's one of these people that is super organized. When I say people, I mean women. Because, the type of woman that's got like a box of greeting cards, it's like, it's somebody's birthday in 3 weeks, time to send them off a little card. I'm like, I'm in awe of that woman because I'm like, that is not me. Normally I'm like flying down to wherever, card gallery, factory, little, little muffins, the little muffins in there that make the cards. I'm in there going, come on, better grab a card, scribbling it as I'm driving on the way to whatever birthday shenanigans going on, money again, great, what a great present, that's me. I'm certainly not giving birthdays like 6 weeks early. So now I've got my birthday gift and I don't know whether to open it or not. I'm tempted to open it. Oh, right. Okay. That's a firm no then.
Now, you see, if this is about not one-upmanship, but if it's more about trying to catch her out, like if you open it up and it's something like a really expensive, really thoughtful, really amazing present, you'll wind your neck in and you'll be like, oh, don't worry, I won't open it to the day. But if it turns out she got it 6 weeks early and it's just some, odd bin purchase out of Lush's, bargain basement. You can take
what I
want. You can take us the moral of highest ground.
Yeah, well, it's Marks and Spencer, so already she's, it's up there. It's a high-end present.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe we should have a competition. What we think it's going to be. What do we think the birthday gift is going to be? What do we think it should be? What would, if you could give me a birthday gift, and you can, what would it be? Just to cheer us up.
Apart from me.
In January. Apart from I've got the another gift, but lovely Christmas gift of my good friend. The Eyes of Doom gift. It's a cute cat. Kill your eyes. I love this mug.
I just one day, please start this stream with an eye patch.
Yeah. So it's January. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a third day in. Right. Okay. So I'm doing Sarah Slims.
Yeah.
My This is now Sarah Slims is my YouTube channel about me losing weight. It's not going to be in the beginning. It was very much me trying to be a YouTuber and being like, "Hi, this is Sarah Slims. This is how to lose weight." And now I'm like, no, this is me very much going like, I really want to lose weight. I'm documenting how I'm doing it. Well, I was doing quite well before Christmas, and then Christmas hit, and I found it really hard to like stay away from all the leftover Christmas stuff. I was keeping it for my birthday, but no, the massive box of chocolates I was keeping for my birthday is now gone. I've had it. But this is day 3 of me being no, I'm back on it. So I've had 3, no alcohol, no chocolates, no puddings, no nothing. There's nothing in my house. So that's it. Well, there is, but I'm not having it. I've got a massive Lindor bucket, but that's in my spare gifts bucket. That is a gift for someone else. It's not for me.
Do you know what? Send it to your mate with a birthday card and be like, just got it in because I heard there's going to be terrible postal strikes. When's her birthday? Please say like May or October or something.
Yeah, my friend's birthday's in May.
Brilliant. Get it there now.
I think that's I don't know if I should send her chocolate because I think she's trying to lose weight as well, but fuck it, it's not in my house then, is it?
Send her all the chocolate you don't want to be tempted with. And do you know what the lesson of this is? Get your birthday right.
Yeah. Very harsh, Lucy, but very correct. Very good. We have got some lovely birthday gift ideas coming in. We've got slippers from Matt Goss. Slippers, Matt.
Slippers. Ooh, I do like a slipper.
Thank you. I do love a good slipper. And we've got, I really like this one from Nobbingston.
Can I just say, because of your misspelling, that's not actually the Class A drugs you think of. That's more of a spoon in the shape of Joan of Arc.
Nobbingston's my best birthday gift was a new heroin spoon. I love a heroin spoon myself because I am my own heroine. And we got information. Philaccio. Oh, I love it. Love it.
Hey, I have
you again. Philaccio. I love that. The month of February is named after the Latin word februm, which means purification. Oh, it stands you up there. There's the Germans now. That is me. Absolutely. Thanks, Phil. What would you get, Lucy?
Oh, no, keep it clean.
Oh, yeah, I like that idea, Matt. Sarah drinks and eats food. That would probably get. Would anyone join that? Would anyone subscribe to that YouTube channel?
Oh, everyone would. If they wanted to see Lucy drinks, they just watch the Drop Comedy Club every fucking Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh my god.
If they're going to have a comedy night that starts at midnight, that's what you get. Whereas, because you don't drink a lot, it's fascinating watching you go into that realm of drinking. Whereas for me, it's like, oh, should this be a novelty?
My massive glass of gin and tonic be a treat? I thought it was just Monday. Yeah, cool. I haven't got. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should drink more actually because.
You're hilarious.
Yeah, and this is right, day 3. Can I just say day 3, starch solution. My body is being purged of sugar. So if I'm a bit drowsy and a bit drippy, that's just the true
right,
me. We need to stop talking about me now.
I'll be the steady hand on the rudder.
As you always are, darling. Yeah. Right. We've got some more suggestions and some more birthday gifts here. Oh, Longfellow as. Hi. Well, as you can tell, that's very nice. Saying how my 2 favourite girls. I work very well with praise. Lucy's more sceptical. She's like, yeah, what do you want? I'm like, that show. Oh, keeping the dates. Yes, we're going to talk about that show. We got comedy review coming up, but first we got Charlie Thomas telling us stuff she's learned. But we're going to have comedy review later on. But yes, It was very rude.
I absolutely adore the idea because I mean, yes, it is quite a Rudy comedy film, and I love the fact that you sat down and watched it. Somebody might come in and said, "What are you watching?" And it's like these two Welsh women off the internet said I had to watch it.
Yeah, it's not my choice. I have to watch it. So it's the comedy review.
Melanie Burfus has put, my best birthday gift was a camera. Now, if that's the Melanie that messaged me after the Lucy show, Melanie is watching this on YouTube through her big TV, which I think is the only way to enjoy this.
Yes, do that. Hey, hi, are we on TV? Hi.
We're on TV. Hi, babes.
Don't get me on my hair. I did wash my hair.
Don't touch your hair. Don't touch your hair. Ignore the hair.
But it is getting on my nerves, so I might.
Oh, Melanie, that's the thing you've mentioned as well. So, Keeper of the Gate, Sarah's going out on the Raz with us, aren't you, Sarah? So one day, Sarah's going out on the Raz. Melanie Burford, but you could pretend to be drunk, like on Drunk History. Have you ever watched Drunk History? For our podcast listeners, there's a show that's in the UK and it's in America. And Courtney Cox, I think, has got the rights to it. And it's where you find a famous story. Maybe it's the Battle of Hastings or the Boston Tea Party or some monumentally famous historical event. You absolutely ply a comedian or two comedians with what can only be described as buckets of alcohol. And then you ask them to recite what they learned. Yes. And I have to say, I if they're pretending to be drunk, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Pretending? I think they are.
The ones that fall over and throw up, they can't be that good at acting.
Did you know that originated from a show in Edinburgh?
Did it?
Yeah, it was huge in Edinburgh for a few years. Everyone was talking about, oh my God, have you seen Drunk History? It's hilarious. And they had a drunk, so they must have just bought the rights to it, or just it went, well, there's no, copyright on that. Let's do it. If it's good.
Because it's Courtney Cox and her ex-husband, Thingamajig Arquette. They've got the rights for it in America.
Oh. I'll give Courtney a ring, see where it came from then. So, did you know that was a big thing in Edinburgh? Did he nick it?
Get Johnny to stop playing guitar in the background. Yeah. How did you get the
rights? Hey, Coxie. Right, now we have got a guest in our dining room, and I'm so excited. Shani, our special guest, has been, well, she is a guest, she is special. She's not the only special guest. We've got Luke Honnoraty coming up later. But Shani knows shit. She knows stuff. And she's going to tell us some stuff. Catchy, isn't it? So she's sniffing the bottle at the minute. In the dining room. Shall we bring her into the lovely kitchen? Into the kitchen with us?
Yeah.
I'm drinking herbal tea this week. Sorry, guys. Mate, I have got vodka in the fridge that needs using it though.
Well, vodka goes very well in tea. It's called a Russian tea. Would you like just for cultural appropriation? Would you like me to bring her in from the dining room?
Yes, please, Lucy.
Without further ado, for the first time in 2021, put your hands together for the one, the only Shani Thomas!
Yay! Hiya, Shani! Hello, babes.
Oh, it looks like I've got giant plants because of your window plants.
Oh, yeah!
It's plant.
No more plants.
How are you doing, sweetie?
I am good. I went for my MS drug infusion today, so I was touched and spoken to, and it was amazing.
Oh, can I go next time? Because I'm not fussed on hugs. I don't want to hug. But even I'm like up for hugging someone, Because I went to walk earlier, and people didn't even look at you anymore. I felt like these three women walked past, and I did do the 2 meters because, of course, you've got to go right. Who's going to move? Who's going to move? Oh, it's me. It's me again, is it? Don't you worry, mate. I'll friggin' move, shall I? That's what my internal voice is doing. And these 3 lovely ladies, I thought, I'll move out of the way because they seem really nice and fun. And I was there grinning away, and they were like looking straight for. I felt like shouting, "Can't you see me? I am visible. Look at me." I might do that next time. I should have done that actually. Can you not see me? But no. Apparently I am alive because you lot are talking to me, so that's good.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me. It's nice because you've got your regulars, you've got Ray, you've got the keeper of the gates. I don't know if he's keeping Bill Gates. Someone check Bill Gates. And Hugh Janus, which is an unusual. Hang on a minute. Okay, I get it.
You get it now.
Was that convincing?
What was that clown dropping? Oh yeah, the penny.
I really like this idea because I'm one of those twats who start a lot of sentences with "actually," or like "did you know," or like "if you stay still around me for more than a minute, I'll tell you that 80% of disabilities are invisible." So I really like this, and I've really enjoyed looking for things that I haven't randomly learned online because I've been a Redditor, as in a member of Reddit, for 7 years. So there's a lot of things that I learn and think, oh, that's interesting, and like forget. So it was nice to look for stuff and think, oh yeah, I've seen that, and then find like interesting things. I just want to say congratulations, Lucy, on your Brittany, the christening of your Brittany. Just wondering, like, if you're like desperately waiting in the long grass for a hitchhiker, so you can be like, it's Brittany.
No, get in the truck.
Please do that next week.
Work Bitch is my favourite motivation workout song, and I kind of forgot it existed there for a hot minute, and I'm going to be back on it because I'm going to start really concentrating on my fitness and diet now. I asked the neurologist to scare me straight today, and he did. So we'll see.
You don't mean straight though. He hasn't.
No.
Yeah. Put you off the women.
Like waving a fanny in my face, like,
or a dick, because you're currently bisexual, so it's okay. You could be scared either way.
double single. So yeah, he did, and because I go and have my infusions every 4 weeks, I've now got accountability. So I thought, why not use something that I'm already doing and make it so that I can do that. And the physio said, she said, I could tell just by meeting you that would work for you. I was like, I come off like approval hungry, do I? And she was like,
Do I come across really good at being approval hungry? Like, grade me. How good am I at being approval hungry?
Am I a 10? I'm a 10, aren't I?
I'm a 10.
It's the comedian way, isn't it? That's all we want is approval. But like,
yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm killing it as a comedian at the moment or writing or anything like that. Like, I just want to sum up how I'm doing at the moment. I wrote my, as I was thinking about what to say, I wrote my ideas on a taxi business card. So that's my notes. That's how
Keep it for the biography. Keep it for the biography. The pictures in the middle.
Oh God, yeah. So it's nice to be here. I think this is good, and I'm really happy. Thank you.
Our pleasure. So what are we doing? What have you learned this week? So you're going to do Reddit, is that?
Well, I've looked at plenty of sources, but this week I learned that drunk history originated in a show in Edinburgh.
Thank you. What a surprise!
What a crowning bitch! No, I learned something else. I learned something else. This week I learned that Gary Oldman, because he has so many roles and did quite hard preparations for them, he lost his British accent, so he had to go to a speech therapist to help him gain it back. And apparently, which is another favourite preface for sentences of mine, a lot of mimics suffer from this.
Oh, right.
Lose their original voice.
Oh, my God. Catherine Zeta-Jones has lost her accent a bit as well, hasn't she?
She is.
Did you see her win an Oscar? On one hand, you're like, yay, she won an Oscar, good on you for the Welsh. And then the other, she went, oggy, 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 oi, oi, oi. And it was the most cringeworthy of the whole world.
Never said that.
Never heard of her before in our lives. Shaming.
I was just wondering if you do any accents.
Well, apparently, do you know the black guy out of Police Academy, all of them, the one that does the most amazing voices, he lost his original voice. He didn't have his.
And now he just speaks like he's a car horn all the time, is that?
Please Google this, but I think he had a demise due to drugs. probably tried to ask for help, but didn't. Sorry, that's really dark. I am so sorry. That is so awful.
The shame.
Oh, she's had 2 sips of wine and she's turned dark. I didn't grow up with many strong accents. If I am around a strong accent, 15 minutes tops, I've got it.
Same.
So when I used to work in British Gas, the call centre in Cardiff, if I had a long, complicated phone call, by the end of the phone call, if it was a strong accent, I was doing it. And I think they thought I was completely ripping them off. But I'm just sort of parasitic when it comes to accents.
Me too. Do you have to warn people? I warn people, like if they've got a strong accent, I'll say, look, I can be an arsehole in many ways, but I'm not being an arsehole when I will inevitably start mimicking your accent. It's you've got lots of mirror neurons because you're definitely an empath. If you do that, you've got lots of mirror neurons, and when you're around other people, your brain wants to make them feel comfortable, so you want to mirror them. So you've just got more mirror neurons than everyone else. I just like to say mirror neurons because it makes me sound really scientific. Should be in a lab coat on a, shouldn't I? But yeah, it just means that you just want people to like you and you want to make them feel comfortable, but like I say, I have to pre-warn people because it can often have the opposite effect. So do you do that? Do you warn people?
No,
I have warned people. Because I when I've started hearing it coming out in the twang, I've thought these people are nice and they're going to think I'm a dick.
I'm more impressed you've met people that you thought were nice, Lucy. Not you just let them have it.
Shani has just said I'm an empath.
I'm an empath.
I think you'll find. Yeah. I don't meet enough people that are foreign to me or from different areas enough to warn them, I don't think. Don't
you teach English as a foreign language? So therefore, wouldn't you be meeting people that have got, even if they're speaking English, will have a strong dialect accent, wouldn't they? Isn't it?
Yes. They don't get to talk much in my class, though, because they're trying to learn English.
Oh, do you go Mary Poppins because you're the tutor? It's not a conversation, it's a lesson. It's do you know what I mean? It's yeah. Whereas maybe 2 and 4, like when I was on British Gas, I'd be like, how was the move? Have you got your meter readings? It was definitely more of a back and forth conversation. Whereas I imagine you're teaching, you're projecting at them.
Yeah. I usually make them bring in food. It's usually every other. I just go, bring in the food of your country and we can talk about it. And we've had some lovely buffets when we were allowed. Last time I talked to people from other areas was when we were allowed in a room together. Haven't done it online yet. But usually you'd find something to talk about. So we talk about like the weather or I love doing seasons. Like, oh, it's Christmas coming up soon. Like it's September. Oh, it's Christmas soon. Let's all talk about Christmas. Next week, let's bring in some Christmas food from your countries and let's talk about it. And by talk about it, I'd say, oh, so what have you brought in? And they'd be like, dishes.
So this is Christmas where you're from. No.
That's really nice. That's really, because you're helping them make friends with each other as well and sharing their cultures and things. That's so nice.
Oh yeah, I really missed my English as a foreign language class. I loved them. And they were really good cooks. They were so good with the food. I lost 3 stone just by not having the food. No, they were really nice. But yeah, maybe I don't pick up quite so much. But if I'm in conversation, I have done in the past when I'm in conversation. The worst is the northern. Like, I can't do it now, but why aren't you on that? Like my sister moved to Scunthorpe. And she actually, and they say duck a lot up there.
Yeah,
it is duck, not. No, she's not mishearing. And she ended up saying duck, and then she had to move back to Wales to get her proper accent back. It is mad.
I used to live in Flintshire, in the anglicised bit of North Wales. So people would be like, "Oh, I'm dead proud to be Welsh, me." And I'd be, yes, what? But they say like, but Ivan, like, so I worked in a call centre, and if they were angry about something, they'd say, "Oh, proper seen me arse over that." So, but I would pick up like, I'd go home for the weekend and I'd be like, "Oh my God, the traffic, like, proper seen my arse." It just doesn't. Or the butty ones here, everyone.
Do you have to like tune back in? Like, oh, right, I'm in Wales now. Right, but
I couldn't win. I would go home for the weekend, and still now, if I go on a massive rant, like if my long fuse blows, if I go on a massive rant, it can come out a bit Flintshire-ish, because I was there for 3 years, and working in a call centre, I was frequently angry about things. So I'd go home, and people, if I bumped into people in town or things like that, they'd be like, "Gone a bit posh, haven't you, since you moved up there?" Because I had to slow down my speaking, and I had to say speaking instead of speaking, and home instead of home. And so then I'd be accused of being posh when I went home. And then when I would go back to work on the Monday, they go, "Oh, Shan, you gone dead Welsh since you went home?" And I'm like, "Well, if I can't fucking win, can I?"
Well, I am from Wales, so
yeah, it's nice. I mean, I do catch mannerisms of people as well. Like if I'm in a relationship with someone, I catch mannerisms of them, and I can't seem to stop that. But I don't steal their hobbies anymore. So progress.
yeah, it's all about progress, not perfection. That's what I keep telling myself anyway. But yeah, that's cool. Well, I was going to say something then. Sorry, it's gone out my head.
Someone asked me about my
Priti Patel. She gets on my absolute tip, for mainly because she seems to be evil incarnate.
I think she's evil.
She drops the G's. She's never said the G. She's never said G. She doesn't.
Never said
Like when you say hang in, you say hanging. She say hanging. And you'd be like, say your G's, Pretty. She's, apparently she's quite posh. She knows what a G is. Do you listen to her? She drops her G's all the time. It drives me insane.
Oh, I just really want somebody to, at this moment in time, what we usually have had in the past is at that second someone tunes in and then goes, "Now the kitchen sink is too political for me. Messages us and fucks."
Well, Matt Goss earlier wanted us to chat about the flipping parties that's been going on. Did you hear about what Pretty No G's Patel is telling? She's doing her fines about it. Like, did you see about this in the week? Sorry, I'm taking us off on a little tangent. We'll come back.
That's good. I love tangents.
Good. But yeah, somebody on the weekend, they broke up this massive house party. They were like, "Oh yeah, we didn't know a pandemic was on. We don't watch the news."
Oh yeah, we don't watch the news.
It's like, what, were you in a bunker? Were you in your basement since last March? You don't have to watch the news to know there's a pandemic coming. Did you not notice? Have you been to the shops? Do you not notice there were masks? People are wearing masks now.
Back program that. They've had a conversation. "Oh, what do we do if the cops turn? And what should we do?" It's like, "Oh, I got a plan, right? Everyone pretend we're thick as out and that we've not read any newspaper or watched any TV. Our excuse will be that we're a fucking idiot." And they've all gone, "Hands in the circle. Go, fuckers."
That's absolutely what happened.
Oh, Baz, you've got that one. You've got that one sorted, Baz, and that's why you're in charge.
You're not wrong there, Baz. Well, pass us the bong. Or as Pretty would say, bong.
Can we
do you like my learned thing then?
Yes. Yes, please.
Because what I was going to say is I've been listening to a new radio station. I've been trying to get audio vitamin D. I've been listening to Australian radio because it's just happier. It's like an else world. It's a world where they've worked out how to stay inside when they had to, and they now are enjoying the outside because they did well. It's like listening to a Narnia. And I've started coming off of the phone and ringing my mother and just using an Australian accent. I'm annoying myself. But then I started picking up things like, people ask me a question and I'll be like, oh, how's ISO going for you? Because everything's shortened. Like, it's not isolation, it's ISO. It's not pandemic, it's pando. Everything. Oh my God, you'll never guess what I bought in ISO. I bought a hot tub. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying being in this. I've never been to Australia, apart from Home and Away and Neighbours and Brokenwood Mysteries. I've had very little to do with the place, but it's. I've been enjoying having different accents coming through my ears. I've wanted that difference.
Yeah, it's nice to have something a bit different, isn't it? Like, look at the same four walls every day.
What was the phrase, Shani? The mirror synapses. What was the fancy mirror neurons?
Mirror neurons, yeah. Like when you see, you know, when old people watch the TV and they mirror the emotions they see. Have you noticed that? As you get older, your mirror neurons become more active, or that's why they do that. And you know, the following along with the mouth thing, like when you're talking. My mum does it, and I didn't ask Reddit about it, and a neuroscientist explained it to me. Could have been catfishing. It made a lot of sense.
Well, it sounds legit, so I'm giving that a thumbs up.
Got it off Dr. Reddit.
Seems legit. I'll agree. My Google search is not that deep. Sounds like it makes sense. It makes sense. No, that sounds cool. I love this.
I just remembered a learn in the office once, and I was made fun of for it for weeks, and I went so bright red. I read a fact on the internet about either odd or even numbers. When you spell them, they don't have a particular letter in them. But I completely misremembered the fact. And I was like, hey guys, did you know that no even number contains the letter I? And there was silence for about 30 seconds. And my workmate went, 8. Oh, because I played it in my head first. So I was like, oh, Shan, right, try and remember this properly now. So I was like, 2, 4. That sounds fine. And of course you got 6 as well. But didn't live it down for weeks. So please fact check your this week I learned. Please
I say, if people are tuning in, go, right, I need to learn something. Where will I get my facts? I know, the kitchen sink. What I learned this week, Vic. Then, buyer beware. That's all I'm saying.
I just want to say, before you put me back in the dining room, someone complimented my wings on my wall. I bought them from Claire's Accessories to wear to Pride in August 2020, and because of
I put
them on my wall, the panda put them on my wall. So they're going to be on my wall until I'm allowed to go to Cardiff and be queer as fuck. And I'm actually considering, because I'm going to paint the walls by my screen dark green and do a nice sexy gallery wall. And I'm thinking now that I want to get a huge antique gold frame and frame the wings.
Oh, yeah.
Just get an extra pair.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Go for it.
Got a lot of rainbow things around my flat. There's a lot of... It's quite clear that I'm queer if you come to my flat. Especially if you're...
I love your towels. You've got your towels in rainbow order. I love it.
I have a rainbow stack of towels.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to have a problem with pro-bad diversity, and yet you can't move for rainbow shit in my flat. So... And one more thing. Sorry to be Columbo, one more thing.
That's all right.
One example of pro-bad diversity that just tickles me to death. I was once kidnapped by my mum and auntie and niece and taken to see Mamma Mia 2 against my will. Because I hated Mamma Mia. I'm so sorry for that. And there's a scene where Lily Rose, as perfect and beautiful as she is, she's singing something. She's got her hands in her pockets and she's strolling down the Spanish country lanes or streets or whatever, something narrow and bricky. And then she's with her hands in her pockets and thoughtfully singing that she looks at two women kissing. And as she's walking and singing, she goes and carries on. And like the director going, we like gay women. No problems here. Like, no, that's not. You don't. That's not.
They could have had signage going, "This is okay."
Yeah.
We approve. We approve of this message.
I know this is completely the wrong moment to jump in, but we all have a tangent round here. Has anybody seen the Cadbury's cream egg advert with the two men kissing with the egg dribbling, right? And there's all sorts of controversy. And I was like, well, what do I think? And I thought, I don't think I'd find that appropriate if it was like a straight couple. Like if they're going, oh, you know, it shouldn't be a gay couple. I wouldn't want it to be a straight couple. I'm not a fan of Cadbury's cream eggs. And it just makes me think. I mean, I could probably, it's very sugary. It's a hard sugar hit when you get to the inside of that egg. I mean, that is
on it.
That's sort of like a type 2 egg, you know, straight away there. And just the idea of them biting and it going everywhere, because it's quite granulated, that sticky stuff. If you get that on one finger, that's everywhere. You've got it on you for the rest of the day.
It's a very good replacement for super glue, that stuff. So, you know, good luck. I hope it wasn't a first date. Let's put it that way, because they're probably still together. John Manx.
I guess just reading on the comments, everyone's going, "Oh my god, it's a gay couple," and I'm like, "Oh god, it's everywhere! It's everywhere." Am I missing the point?
I wouldn't even share a can with my ex-husband. Like, I'll leave you some. I'm not. No.
You can have it now.
That's about the special egg, because those eggs, especially the top bit, is thick as F. It's just so, you know, you've got to nibble at it. It doesn't just explode everywhere. I wonder what
they're confusing that with the caramel rabbit.
Yeah, it's all right for a female rabbit to be sexual, but not two consenting men. That's what Cadbury's are telling us.
Keep it to the rabbits, guys.
That's what the rabbits are telling us.
If it was two women doing it with Cadbury's flake blowjob lips, the boomers and the angry gammons would have been a lot quieter. And I enjoy that it angered them. I really enjoy that it angered them. But yeah, like sharing a cream egg, gross. Like, no. But I like it. It's a sexy image, and it pissed off a lot of people. But I'm completely with you. Like, I'm not sharing shit with you. I don't care. I don't care how close we are. Or where I put your
focus. When you said two women with two flakes, all I'm thinking of is bits everywhere. Like that stuff is called for a fucking reason. And it gets on, and it gets one tiny speckle of a Cadbury's fleck, and it turns into a smudge. I mean, it is a dangerous item. Sorry, focus on what you were saying about the sexting.
Also, can we just bring in our lovely viewers? So we've had there's been quite a lot of chat going on.
I'm so sorry, boys and girls and non-binaries on the chat.
Yeah. So let's go with this. I really loved Gaz Dog. If you're still with us, Gaz Dog was like one of my favourite viewers from last week. He says he's posted up in Bangkok right now playing Boggle Hood Rules. How much baht do you think it cost to buy a tiger, either a green or a blue one? If anyone can help Gaz Dog out, I'm a bit scared. He's probably already bought one by now because this was a few minutes ago. I'm sorry, I have no experience on baht. I'd know if it was, if it was the euro, I'd give it at least 50. But also, don't go buying exotic animals because that's animal cruelty.
For 1,000 baht, you can get £24.
Oh, it's got to be a few thousand then, Gaz Dog. Yeah. A few thousand baht, especially if they're green or blue. They're special there. Okay, and Longfellow is very angry about this comment. He says, Bangkok isn't real. Stop seeing the piss and don't involve Boggle in your lives.
It's all fun and games, but don't take Boggle down there. No.
You're going too far now. We're bringing Boggle into it. Do you know, I bought Boggle. I wanted Boggle I think for my 9th Christmas. I just like the advert was so good, and then when I got it for Christmas, I was gutted because Boggle it's just making names out of a grid. We couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, but it's Boggle the see-through box.
Yes, and it's got letters in it, and you shake it, and then it becomes like a grid. I'm not sure if it's 9 overall or maybe more. And you all look at it for a minute and you write down as many words as you can. Now, I'm a very literate person, as in I've read a lot of books. At the age of 9, you know, my wordage was not strong. If you did 3-letter words, my family were all at least 5 years older than me. I never won. I think we played it once. My parents, 1970s parenting was very poor, let's put it that way.
Also, really sorry, Longfellow, but it's really hard to maintain an angry tone when you're including the word boggle.
Gad's dog is also a bit concerned about the police.
I mean, genuinely, police are 24 hours. I can't think of a single place that are going to say 9 to 5. Other than that, leave a message. Apart from Tiverton.
And then he's got everyone off to indie wrestlings. So I think I'm not sure if Gaz Talk is still with us. I think he's buggered off to indie wrestling.
Our viewers, we're all into Twitch, and we're interested. One day we will learn how to raid another person's channel, but don't you be raiding our viewers. No, thank you.
We need them raided in the opposite direction. Yeah. So I hope you will come back. If you've buggered off, you can't hear me anyway. But I hope you will come back later. Matt wants to know what Lucy is drinking. Lucy?
Oh, I am drinking organic white wine called Marinas. But we call it the sheep because there's sheep on it.
What? Are you drinking sheep juice? Yeah. How's the sheep juice, Lucy?
Some people call that milk.
That's cow juice.
Get a stereotype or what? It's organic. I don't know why there's a sheep on it, but it's a white wine, and we've become very good fans. There's no there doesn't got that conference wine back taste, and also you don't get a hangover. So, ding.
Is it quite expensive? Is it posh?
No, at the moment it's £5 a bottle in M&S.
M&S though, come on, have a word.
Come on.
You wouldn't get a bottle. You wouldn't get a bottle of wine for a in Tesco's. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I'm getting the Lucy eyebrow.
Get down.
Yeah, for
listening to our podcast, I did give Sarah a raised eyebrow with a slight pout.
She's like, I'd normally do. You're lucky I'm not giving you a Paddington Bear hard stare. I only did that for a chance to flick my hair. Here we are. 1980s videoing. Keeper of the Gates, thank you so much for staying with us. Everyone else is hooked up to indie wrestlingus. Although if I wasn't doing this, I'd be like, ooh, what's that all about? I quite like that. It's just sweating men. Oh, it's just sweaty men. All right, I'm off. Right, see you guys.
You're right. Charlie and Lucy show. Later on, we've got coming up Luke Honnoraty.
Shall I just get onto Twitch and see what? just for research purposes. Just for research. Have we got anything else to learn? We know about mirror neurons. We know about empathy. We're empathic. Was there anything else, Shani? Or was that the end of the session?
That's the end of the session.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
So much for coming on.
Oh, sorry, I just heard Matt. So Matt is asking me to do a hard tongue twister, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure what you mean there, Matt. It's been a while. Okay, right. Have we got time to review our comedy, or should we do it after?
I think we've got time to do it because obviously Luke's Luke. I should send Luke the link.
It would help him. Shani, would you like to stay while we chat about a review about London Hughes comedy To Catch a Dick?
I will go, 'cause as I mentioned, because it's my infusion day, I need to be horizontal quite soon.
Yes.
So I spoke to too many people as well, so I'm quite tired. So is that okay?
Absolutely, darling.
That's okay.
10 out. You're a 10, Shani. You're a 10. Thank you. Out of 10, not 20, because I imagine you'd be thinking, oh, is that 10 out of 20? Or can we be more specific? So, yes, thank you so much. Give it up for Shani, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for making us.
We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon for some more What I Learned. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, darling. See you soon. Bye.
Are you throwing me?
Bye.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Shani, I did throw you out before you said, are you throwing me out? Yes, I am. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was so much fun. Right.
I'm just sending the link to Luke. He also asked for the link, so he gets extra points.
Shani's still with us because she's backstage. She's back in the dining room, and she's enjoying the vol-au-vents. Keeper of the Gate says thank you and bye.
Perfect. I think we can really get through London Hughes before Luke arrives. Because I know that Luke's appointment finishes at 8, so I don't know how quickly we can grab him.
Okay, cool. He probably wants a minute anyway, doesn't he? He probably wants a minute in the dining room.
Yeah.
Eating the complimentary grapes.
I'm going to keep my phone up, though, because if I do miss another message, it does make me look like an absolute knobhead.
Fair enough. Like you're not doing enough.
Sometimes I'm an empath. Shut up. Arnie said I was an empath. Thank you. Shani said I'm an empath. Oh, hang on. That doesn't mean I'm empathetic, though, does it? that just means, like, does it? What's the difference between empathy and empathification?
I think being an empath means you like paths with an M on it. No.
I like empath. I like M-ways. You recommended the Netflix comedy special by London Hughes, To Catch a Dick. So that means I'm first to discuss it.
Cool.
So I've been listening to it today all day. Stop starting, and I've been having it on the airwaves in my truck because I've been doing my job, and I instantly she's very Tiffany Haddish, very Tiffany Haddish, but I can imagine if someone doesn't like this, they also have an argument for why they don't like WAP. Or any of like the Cardi B or anything like that, where, I mean, is it OTT? Yes. Is it allowed to be? Yes. This is not an open university lecture on mathematical formulae or how to improve the congestion zone. This is a comedy show, and I feel that she had very Dave Chappelle type. And sometimes Eddie Murphy, maybe even Richard Pryor, that repetition of short, sharp words. And first of all, I listened to it and I thought, yeah, these are very cheap jokes. But then I started listening. And there was a lot of work and a lot of craft that went into what seemed like a lot of flyaway lines. I think that it's groundbreaking. I think that a lot of people are going to be comparing other people to this for a very long time. And I did a comedy course. I've mentioned this to you with a very well-known comedian. And there was only 2 females in the group, and we were telling Rudy material. And his quote was, "Well, it's not like you can do a half-hour routine on a blowjob." And me and the other girl looked at each other and thought,
London's like, oh my time.
I mean, no, I got nothing with me this week. Nothing to share. And it turns out you can do a lot more than half an hour.
Yeah.
Sometimes I found it a little bit. I think if I'd been sat down, glass of wine, couple of friends watching it, all giggling together, it would have had a different emotional response to it than somebody that's listening to it with the reviewer's cap on, doing another thing at the same time. But genuinely, there some of the jokes I thought, is that testing it a bit? But other times I really, really enjoyed it. And I have to say, fucking well done. I mean, wow.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm with like the Keeper of the Gates while you were reviewing, while you were chatting there, said it wasn't really my humour, but that comedy. But there was one joke that made me laugh, which was eating fancy cheese with white girl names like Brie. I'm with you. I mean, I think it's because I wanted to absolutely love it. And I think I did love it. I loved that her craft, her, the way she just puts herself out there and performs. She really performs the shit out of this stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I was watching it, like when I was so keen to watch it. I watched it, like she tweeted that it was out. London tweeted it was out, obviously following Twitter. And I don't know her, I didn't know much about her background. I've not seen her on the circuit. I'm not aware of her. All I know is from what she put on Twitter. And I think that she, she's someone who is clearly going to do better in America than she did in Britain. Let's put it that way.
I didn't know it was set in America when she started. And she went, "No, I like a Beyonce, but I'm actually a Penelope." And I just thought, no, you're not, love. But of course, then it clicked she was in America. So of course, they think that accent's posh.
Yeah.
For the Americans, they know it's not.
She started getting American attention, like massive. And like I've seen like those little adverts they got when you watch a comedy show on Channel 4. They have a little snippet to advertise Coors beer or something. She's one of the acts on there, like rapping and doing rap battles with the other acts. I think Natasha Demetriou is one of them as well. Doc Brown is one of them, the rapper Doc Brown, not the other one, not the clown one. And she was clearly started to rise in Britain, but now she's clearly going to make it big. And I mean, she's got a Netflix special already, and it looked really good and really polished. But I have to say, I didn't sit there hear myself laughing. No. I appreciate it. I appreciate the jokes and the craft. And again, if I was in a club watching her, it would have been massively different. And funny enough, I was like, right, whenever I'm a bit like, I'm not sure what I think, and I'm not sure what I want to say about this, because I don't want to just go pile of poo, because it absolutely is not. It was really good. But it is difficult when you watch a comedy and you don't laugh I didn't laugh that much out loud, because I think it's not massively my material in terms of, I get embarrassed talking about sex. I do talk about sex on stage. I have got some sex jokes, but inside I'm like, oh God, the stuff that I say about sex is actually quite similar to her. Obviously she takes it much further, but but I get embarrassed about it, because I'm like, I never got into comedy to be on stage and do dick jokes, really. But it's quite often it's what has the biggest reaction. If you're a bit drunk on a Friday night in an audience, you kind of enjoy people talking about sex. You don't want them talking about, feminism or, anything too political, really. You just want to relate and have a bit of a laugh. So anyway, I saw one of these reviews in The Guardian, I think it was a 3-star review out of 5, which I think is a bit harsh, really. But that review was very much, I saw this in Edinburgh, in an attic room in Edinburgh, and she walks on like she's a fucking queen that she is, and smashes out of the park in that environment, and people are killing themselves. But in the environment, on this Netflix environment, not so much. And also, it was filmed during lockdown, so people in the audience, you can hear them, but it was filmed outside, and people would have been far apart. So how hard is that to do? So overall, I can't wait to see what else she comes up with. I think, I really hope she comes up with more stuff. If I saw her live, I would want to go and see her live.
Yeah.
I think it was great. So there we go.
I've seen her. She's been on Alison John on textual healing on that section. She did a little phone in, and I know that she's been on the Drunk Women Solving Crime podcast. I know of her, but could I sit down and go, she's the one that does this stick about such and such? I mean, for her to get a Netflix special in America during Pando, it's pandemic. Sorry, during ISO she got a gig. But I mean, she did. She because she's not a name she walks on there and she punches you in the face like Tiffany Haddish. And you know what? I think there is such female comedians can be schmutty, they can be rude, they can be offensive, but they can't have too much confidence whilst they're doing it. So Sarah Millican will tell an absolutely depraved, disgusting joke, but she'll look like she's going to take your library books out for you.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas she's sort of there going, I mean, the opening introduction to it is she's being given head off a researcher and she gets his name wrong. I mean, was it the fact that Netflix just gave her the front cover of a Louis C.K. Netflix special? Who knows? It'll be discovered at one point. But fucking good for you. Just, I mean, if you could bottle that confidence. Because do you remember 3 years ago when we started this? We had Jenny Collier on, and she did point out, if you're gonna do a rude joke, it's go hard or go home. You can't mutter you can't do the punchline, and you can't throw the line away. You've got to lean into it, and she fucking leant into it. She leant into it
for an hour. She leant into it. Yeah. And I love how positive, sex positive, female sex positive, and keeping the gate, sit on faces. If you watch it, you will know what we're talking about.
You know what I mean? That's not just, and to be honest, that's not usually just the sort of thing we get off Twitch.
Now I'll have a word said against Twitch. Gaz Dog comes from Twitch. I can't wait to bring him back. I really enjoy his stories every week.
The only real thing where I did my old woman face, where I went, is when she said they moved to Brighton, and as 14-year-olds they sucked a load of dick. And in my head, I didn't like the idea of 14-year-old girls doing that. I know they do, but I don't need to know about it.
I didn't do
that. I just like having along, and she's going, you got Claire with the chlamydia, not to be confused with Claire that doesn't have the chlamydia, and I was called the seagull because I could swallow it. And she was like, we were just normal 14-year-olds going around sucking as much dick as possible. Hi, Luke, just joined the dining room. Of all the sentences, but I was laughing at it, and yes, that is really true to life in British towns. But I was just driving along going, if she could have said 15, I would have been happier.
Yeah. Now we know what all the bad girls were up to at age. The girls that sat in the back of the class.
Yeah, that was not me. But I think that sums up our review of the Netflix special by London Hughes, How to Catch a Dick. And from one day, sorry, from London Hughes to a little phrase I coined this week, the Bard of Barnstable. Hey. So fucking proud of that for at least half an hour. I had no one to tell.
How much of that wine have you had now, Lucy?
I haven't had a drink in 4 days and one glass gone to my head. That's why I keep drinking, to make sure my tolerance is kept up. Right, shall I press the special guest intros and we pull him out of the dining room?
Yes, let's. Loom bands. Remember loom bands? Oh, sorry. Keeper of the Gates is saying at 14 I was watching Twitch streamers and making loom bands. How old are you?
14, keep that to yourself. Keep her secrets like that. Right, I'm going to play the introductions and we're going to have the most amazing guest, Luke Honnoraty, joining us. So here, roll VT.
Special guest time, special guest time, special guest time.
Quality.
Luke, are you in a cave? It's very echoey.
Oh yeah, it does sound echoey in here. It's my new kitchen, but it's really big, so it's not very soundproofed at the moment.
Yeah, I find that my house is so massive. My audio's not that great. I mean,
it is a big kitchen. Look, it goes all the way around.
I know, but
all the way
if
around.
you're lucky enough to be on Luke's social media, his latest complaint was his driveway is so long he feels scared. Fuck off.
No, come on now. I live in the middle of nowhere now, and there's no street lights or anything, and so at night time it is properly scary. Like not nervous, like badgers, rabid badgers. You know, you hear about in the news.
Yeah, rampant badgers.
The ones that haven't been cold, they're coming for us. They're out of my garden.
That's a lovely kitchen, though, Luke. I feel like we're going up in the world because we were in your garage last time.
Yeah, I love that garage. You know, it was decent, but no, I haven't got a garage here. I've got a barn.
Oh my God, you're so posh. A barn.
No, I've got a barn. Yeah, I've got two actually. They're not like barns. They're proper metal shacks with like old wood, and I mean, cows haven't been in there for a long time, but I genuinely can still smell cow poo in there. It's pretty.
The cow's revenge for having to be farmed, I think.
I've got sheep as well. There's sheep that hang out in the back garden. Literally.
Oh,
This will test to see how posh the property is. Luke, do you have a ha-ha?
A what? Oh, do you mean the bit where the wall goes and then there's a field?
Yeah.
No.
A ha-ha is a slight dip in the garden to keep the sheep out of your lawns.
Oh, I need that then. That'd be good. Oh, yes, we have got that around the fence.
You need
I did wonder.
I can't wait to see his next comedy special. I mean, it's going to be the Waitrose tour, isn't it?
The Waitrose tour, I mean. I'll never be posh. I've got lockdown hair as well. Look how long my hair is. It's like, it's never ever.
It looks good a bit longer, though.
What is that, sorry?
It looks good a bit longer.
Hey, thanks. I love coming to the kitchen thing. This is nice.
Yeah. So, Luke, how are you? How are you, Beth? What's happening? Any news?
Yeah, a little bit's going on. I've just come out of a maths lesson, so I'm like,
What did you learn tonight?
Say again.
What did you learn tonight?
So today we were doing how to measure triangles and how to measure angles on straight lines, as well as if you've got like a dodgy shape. I call them dodgy shapes. Irregular shapes is actually what they called them. And then we were doing algebra.
Oh God, algebra.
I hate it. It's the biggest load of rubbish ever. But I didn't finish my GCSEs at school. I left school I just turned 16 and I left school, and I didn't do my GCSEs and that. So I need to. That's why I'm redoing them.
Oh, good on you. Well done.
36 years old.
Like algebra?
Say again.
Why? I said you don't like algebra.
Why? Mate. Oh, it's funny. I like that. I'm going to use that in my maths lesson. I'll be like, oh, Luke's really witty. They don't even know I do stand-up. I didn't tell them. Because otherwise they'd expect you to be funny. That way I'm just naturally funny, and they go, God, that guy funny.
Oh, cool. Well
can
done.
I just interrupt to say congratulations on your new signing? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was a shock. That was really out of the blue. Because I was.
It's not a hostage situation, is it? It is consensual.
Yeah. Hostage. Sign this paperwork. No, he. The guy actually, it's quite weird because you don't really look for agents, do you? You just kind of potter along and hope that one day someone goes, oh, I can do something for you. And he said he literally was out shopping or getting food shopping, and he was waiting outside the supermarket, and some videos came up from Top Secret Comedy. And so he started looking through these videos, and they shared one of me from like last year or 2 years ago, where it was. And when we gigged, so he shared that, and he watched it, and off the back of that, emailed me and just wanted to know if he could work with me and stuff. So, and then within like 4 days of that email, I was signed. It was done.
Oh wow! So what kind of work is he going to do for you? Is it like live work or any special?
He doesn't deal with my gigs because I've done it so long. I can just do my own gigs. But he deals with like TV stuff. So like I don't know, like adverts and talking heads, and he does what's that? Keeper of the Gates. What's trigonometry?
Yeah. Hi, Keeper of the Gate. She's one of our.
He's been joining in the chat all the show, and they've all gone off to watch Indie Wrestlingus, which I don't want to make a commentary on what that is, but thank you very much for attending the show until you wanted to watch men wrestling.
Next week.
But yeah, he runs a couple of TV panel. He's got a couple of TV panel things going on and stuff like that. So I don't know really. He's just got some bits in the pipeline for me. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
So exciting. So we could see you on a TV show soon then, maybe.
Oh God, it'd be so good. But I don't. Do you know when you just think this is too good to be true? I just take it as it comes, and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'd get business cards that say I was discovered in Tesco's. Just leave it like
that. It's really weird because if you're from Devon, you don't really get those opportunities. Like,
no.
There's never an agent just casually in Barnstable just thought, I'll pop in and watch that show. That doesn't happen, but I guess it's the power of social media, isn't it? You get seen now.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I could never leave the 2 barns and the flock of sheep and the country air. Could never leave that. So.
I remember I was flyering for my comedy gig that I did in Westex during the little lift up. I don't know, the lockdown, that little bit we had. And I was flying around, and this guy came up to me and went, do you know Luke Honnoraty? I said, yeah, do you? And he went, yeah, I'm related to him. Just carried on walking. Just carried on walking. Those are the opportunities that I get in Tesco's.
The sheer confidence of the guy is incredible. Jesus.
It's like, if you don't know who Luke is, you're not going to make it in this industry. And I was like, yeah, I know him.
I know that guy. I've already gigged for that guy. That's what you should have said to him.
I know, I said, he's my first pro bill, actually.
Yeah. That was a fun gig as well, wasn't it? Scott Capurro was amazing.
Yeah, fourth gig, Scott Capurro, Karen Bailey, that's how you roll, fourth gig.
She's good. Yeah, I like Karen Bailey. She's a decent act. She's got a book now, hasn't she? She's brought a book out.
Yeah, a book, and it's being audio voiced by Joe Lycett.
That's it. Yeah, she's friends with Joe. She's his support act on tour.
Yeah, and I think she's got like a proper job at the moment. Like, it's really hard. It's great to see so comedians get real proper jobs, but it's like, oh, they've all left.
Yeah. I do find it funny when you see comedians going, I've had to get a job on a building site and no one gets me. I'm like, well, yeah, you are a flimsy comedian. This may be the wrong job for you. Prancing around in skinny jeans while you make load of cement, will ya? What are you doing? Plus, a lot of comedians are like middle class kids, aren't they? They've never had to have the job. they might have worked at daddy's accountancy before, like sticking envelopes together and that. They've never had to be told what to do by someone that's potentially related to their staff at their mum and dad's house. It just must be soul destroying.
Yeah.
It's when the lock, even, and it wasn't like, I remember somebody saying, I think it was Joe Dysart saying on the Big Fat Quiz of the World, like their news quiz of the year, like how some people went absolutely nuts at the very beginning of lockdown. They didn't even wait for a few months of insanity to boil over. Because they went proper batshit sort of 3.5 minutes after lockdown was announced. And there were so big name comedians that were just like, don't make me mix with the muggles.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Really, we're really trying to spread the word that art is work, and you need to support the arts. And what we do is more than just telling dick jokes. But these guys were really letting us down at the beginning. They were like, okay, with them.
Oh god, it's so true. I've always worked though, like done comedy and had a job. I've never been just comedy. I've always had a job. I love the fact you're a truck driver and you gave me advice on moving in. I feel that's quality. Messaging me like pictures of her in the snow with her lorry, going, don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
I told her it was going to be like dusting a stone. She's like, you pussy, look at this. I'm an ice road trucker.
I've got to drive a transit van and it's a long wheelbase.
It wasn't a transit van.
I was like, here's an arse in Switzerland.
It was a long wheelbase Mercedes. It was 4 meters long. It's like a bloody bus, mate. I couldn't believe it.
But I always wanted a pro comedian to ask me for advice. So tick, I was like, put the load low and wide, take it slowly, take a shovel, don't jerk the steering wheel. Yes!
It was great advice as well. When I loaded it, for the first 2 loads I did moving house, I followed your advice. Then I lost the will to live and just loaded whatever into that van. I was just drop kicking everything into it. So it could have been like 20 kilos on one side and then 400
kilos. And it wasn't icy though. It didn't actually snow, Luke. So my advice was for snow, and you took it on board because it was a bit chilly.
No, we were predicted snow, Lucy. It was a dangerous time for all of us involved. It was a very tough move.
Going back to I'm really glad that you said that you worked as well as done comedy. Same as me, the dream was always to do less of the day job and more of the comedy. But have you ever had shit off people for that? Like, I've heard stories of full-time comedians being a little bit shitty if you're not a full-time comedian, or being a bit like, oh well, this is the only thing I can do. I can't do anything else. Have you ever heard of that, or have you had any problems?
Yeah, I've been around it. I've had people say it, and for example, if they put a gig up on the forum, and then people are like, who wants this gig? And then I'll go for that gig and maybe 3 other comedians. And one of those comedians will be friends with me and another comedian that's gone for it. They will say to them, Luke shouldn't have gone for that gig. He's got a full-time job. I've got to pay my rent this week. I should have got that gig. But we all need money. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think everyone lives, beyond their means. I mean, me this year, it's a massive shock for me to lose all that money from comedy. And so I rely on it. You grow to rely on that extra income, just like, full-time people, having bar jobs on the weekend. You're not going to go like, oh, don't worry about my bar shift, mate. Give it to Tracy. Yeah, give it to Tracy. Yeah, she's all right. She ain't got a job. You're going to take it. You need the money, don't you? But I have heard that bitterness from other acts that are not happy that you're doing it. But, if you didn't take that gig, you'd never gig, and then you'd never progress. You need to. I mean, you look at Ramesh Ranganathan. He was filming, I think he was filming either Mock the Week or Live at the Apollo, and then going into school the next morning and teaching. So he was sort of full-time teacher, even though he was still doing all these shows and touring with Sean Walsh and doing all those things. So it's you can't, it's hard just to quit the job and then, because if you've got a family, I've got 2 kids and a wife, I can't just quit and go guys, we're gonna live the dream now for daddy and have no money. Daddy, I've got no clothes. Yes, but Daddy got to tell jokes last night, didn't he? Eh? Remember, it's all about me now. It's all about your father.
It's Daddy's time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Getting
I
nice
had
for
no
5
clothes
years.
on, and I'm redoing it now.
It's like, and also like, if the minute you got a mortgage, like I'm, late 40s, and by the time I got into comedy, I had a mortgage. I might not have like a husband and kids or anything, but we've all got bills to pay.
Yeah.
So there is no money in comedy. When people come in new to it, like I used to do comedy courses or help new acts. Anybody that wanted to do it to get their 5 minutes just to start.
Yeah.
Like I wonder what it looks so lucrative. You see Live at the Apollo, you see Mock the Week, and you think, oh, those people, they must be full time, they must be raking the money in because they're on TV. But the reality is, I don't know how much money, just being a guest on like Mock the Week is. I don't know how much money that would be, or Live at the Apollo. But I guarantee it's not a year's worth of money. It's not even, probably not even a month's worth of money. And you've got to be able to pay your frigging bills. So I don't know how people, unless you live in, I don't know, there seems to be a lot of people that are rich doing comedy full time.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people inherited a house.
She brings us up, and we know Lucy's rich. She's a secret millionaire, isn't she? How many female truck drivers do you know? She owns the firm. She sort of pops in and sees the drivers. You all right, Kat? How you doing? Yeah, tell us about your problems. And they're like, oh, Lucy, you wouldn't believe it. I've had to work double shifts and I've got bad back. She's like,
Maybe someone what the fuck.
Secret millionaire, mate. Look at those lights in the background. They weren't cheap.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Look at that wing back there.
Look at them in Asda, mate, do you? Look at the chair she sits. That's a club chair. You see that kind of stuff in a golf club.
Marks and Spencer's, that is.
Marks and Spencer's. Bloody hell, mate. That is expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah. I didn't like to name names, Luke. I didn't like to name names, but now it's out there.
And that's Marks and Spencer's. And that's Marks and Spencer's. And this dress, I've just realised I am fully catered for by Marks and Spencer.
Hang on. Are you Marks and Spencer? Are you Mark Spencer? Is that what this is? You're coming out?
Yeah. You're related.
Damn it, I should have put myself in all those Christmas adverts. Fuck, I've missed an opportunity there.
What's the wallpaper you got? It's a bit of posh wallpaper there as well, I can see. Kind of wallpaper you get in the Hilton.
I came in the house. It came in the house. It's very dated and it definitely predates Dora Ashley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the house was decorated and
this was done by Dora Ashley.
Never touched that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's an original William Morris. He did it himself.
You're well.
I started getting a few gigs for January, and I was like, yay! I actually had a diary, and I had a date, and I put it in. I put it in the new diary, and there was a big empty diary except for one date, and I was like, I'm assuming you too. You also got. I mean, Sarah, you started cracking up the dates we looked to do in that comedy fair. I mean, at the moment, everybody is just on hold. There's. I mean, I've even booked Luke for a gig that I don't even know. I don't even know when it's coming back for. It's. And then I heard today that Glastonbury 2021 is being cancelled. Really? Didn't see that coming.
Can you imagine? If you're social distancing at Glastonbury, 20 people at the Prism. Primary stage, 400 400 people with that.
We're trying to get like
you're all fine.
We're trying to get 25 people in a village hall, and they're kicking off because 300,000 aren't allowed to take over a fucking field. Like, guys,
literally, like overflowing Portaloos, no social distancing. Like, it was obviously going to be cancelled. I think it's silly for them to even try and go ahead with it, but you know it is.
Yeah, I love how naive I was. Like last August, I was booked. Lovely Graham Wilkes said, "Come down to." I haven't got an email or anything. I'm assuming it's not on, but you know.
Did you see Graham got engaged?
Did I? Sorry, say again, Luke.
Graham got engaged.
Yes. I think I did. Yes.
His girlfriend went into Morrison's very well. He worked in Tills at Morrison's because comedy's going well for him as well. And she got in the tannoy and then started to announce it, walking around Morrison's, and then went to his desk and was like, "Will you marry me?" in that voice, you know, the lady's voice. And then he was like, "Yeah, all right." Honestly, he looked like he wanted the ground to swallow him up. He looked so like, because Graham's just not that type of guy. He's not confident in that way. Especially, I think, like for me as well, I hate being complimented. I'm not very good at handling compliments. So I think for him to have someone say that they love him so much they want to marry him, I think that was killing him. He was just like, stop saying you love me. Even though he loves her, obviously, because he said yes.
They're so lovey-dovey on. I might have had to mute them actually, because they're like every day they were like so lovey-dovey on Facebook. And like before Christmas, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever touch another human being.
I think you need to tune back into their relationship in like, I don't know, like 3 years when you start to hate each other. You know, where like you like each other probably one day in 3 months and you put that on Facebook. Oh, look at us walking in a park. And then the next day, like, oh, I can't believe that girl liked your picture. It'll happen. It happens to the best of us.
I don't know, they just seem like the sweetest, most pure couple. And, you know, they just seem so gorgeous. So I was overcome with bitterness. I was like, I'm going to have to quieten you down. I will reanimate them, I think.
What I love is if he's watching this, he's going to be like, oh, she did she? That gig's cancelled.
I didn't. I didn't.
Oh, no, that wasn't COVID. That was your commitment to our friendship, Sarah. That's why that got cancelled, mate. Still begins with a C, doesn't it? Commitment.
You want to know what the cancel culture means?
I'm sure he'd understand. Understand. But I love how naive we were. Like back in August, you know, booking to go down in February, and I just can't see that happen at all. It was meant to be
and the next 2 months, like theatres and all sorts, and I've got tour support that I'm doing for someone in March or April, and so like I put them all in the diary, like really excited, like yeah, it's coming back, guys. I think for me as well, I genuinely thought that New Year's Eve, like New Year, New Me, I thought it'd just be like, oh, COVID's gone now, everyone's all right. It's 2021, mate. That's what so last year, and it's not. We've come into it like, oh no, we're still screwed, aren't we?
It doesn't feel like. I've said it a few times, but it just doesn't feel like a new year. It just feels like it's the 2020, the revenge. It's like we're just still going on in 2020. ... That's how it. Anyway, let's not go. Like Lucy's giving me the look. Like, let's keep it light, guys.
Keep it light.
Oh yeah. She's been on the CD radio on the truckers all the time about this. That's why she's angry. She's not like talking about it. It's a Brexit. I better go in. Oh, is your lorry parked up? Is it?
Right. Today, a gentleman. This guy I work with. Let's not use stupid titles like that. There's a thing in the industry where if you go over to a truck to speak to a driver, you wind the window down and you converse through the window, unless you're an arsehole, where you feel that you have the right to open another driver's door. And it is an unwritten rule. You do not touch another driver's door unless you're trying to prove your masculinity. And he started walking to me, and I started to, because you can't do the window without turning the truck on. So I went to turn the truck on. He could see that I went to press the button, and he just opened the door to talk to me. And I've always fantasized about kicking someone in the throat because of it. And because their throat is where your foot is, because they're on the ground.
I get it.
And I think I mean, it's my own fault. You drop your guard and you forget to lock your door because you forget there are arseholes out there. But it's about training yourself to remember there are always arseholes around. It's your fault.
It turned out he was opening your door to let you know you had a flat tire.
No, he wouldn't have told me. He was that much of an arsehole. He would have probably snapped my tire, rang the boss and said I didn't notice it.
I had a couple of drinks tonight, and you were just like, Yeah, you can just kick someone straight in the throat. It's a perfect angle. I get my big trucker boots out, I do my laces up real tight so they don't come off, and I just stamp on them.
Stamp on their neck.
What a gin. Yeah, when I kidnap drivers, I just stick them straight in there, mate. Straight in the back of the van.
Haven't thought about it much, just would actually do it.
do you have a bed in yours? Do you have a bed in your lorry?
It depends. You either have a day cab, which doesn't have a bed, or you have a bunk, a night cab. And unfortunately, I only have a day bed. So when I nap, I have to go on the other side of I have to go on the passenger seat and sort of curl into a little ball, and sort of like, because the middle bit is raised. So you have to sort of dormouse it. Whereas I'm used to having trucks that have beds in it. And if I've got a 15-minute break, I can sleep for 13 of those minutes.
Oh,
I'm that trained. And I do find that a superpower.
I love going to sleep on drives. When I drive to gigs, I'll always pull over at the services.
Yeah, people don't let me sleep when I'm driving, though. They get really cross when I sleep when I drive.
When you drive, they get weird about it, don't they?
Shut up! I'm napping. I mean, I do love having the truck driving, and I do love doing the comedy. And I remember at the very beginning, I went for a competition. I went for a couple of competitions, and there was one. I didn't get through any of them at the very beginning. And one person that got through said, "Oh, she was really grateful that she got through, considering this was her hobby."
Oh, that's a bit sly.
And I was like, "Oh no, I'm fine with you getting through on that. That's fine."
Isn't everyone's hobby when they first start out, though?
Lucy's very serious about it.
You know what? When I first started out, I didn't take it seriously. I did like 3 or 4 open mics, did a competition, then didn't gig again for like 5 or 6 months. Then I did like 2 or 3 gigs, and then I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. It was just couldn't be bothered. And then got to the end of 2011. And I think I saw Tom Glover at a gig and James Alderson, and they started at the same time as me. And Tom had done like 70 gigs and James had done 100. And then they went, "Oh, how many gigs you done, Luke?" And I was like, 10, 11 gigs. And I felt really stupid. And they were just like, "Oh, right." Huh. And then I kind of like thought, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe it's not for me." And then my Zoe at the time was like, "You love this. Like every time you come back from a gig, you're so buzzing, you're so happy, and you really look forward to the gig that's in 2 months' time. Like it's the best thing ever."
Didn't you win a competition when you were like on your second gig or something stupid?
Yeah. So I did. I did like two open mics in London, or 3 open mics, and then I went and did a competition, Southwest New Act of the Year. I won the semi-finals, and then I went back on my 5th gig and won the final. And then I just didn't gig for ages. And then
did you kind of like? I did the Welsh Unsigned Stand-Up Awards for like 10 years running. You know, I think I had 1 year I went, I can't keep doing this and keep going to the semi-finals. And I made it the very last year that it existed, because they didn't do it. Obviously, they didn't do it last year. But they didn't do it the year before last either. So about 2018, I made it to the final. And I was like, yay! And it went really well. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll win, but I didn't win. But if I won that first year, I wonder if I'd be like, oh yeah, this is easy. Anyone can win. You know, did you kind of take it for granted?
Luke?
No, I didn't take it for granted. I just didn't take it seriously. When I was really into my sales job, and I loved sales. I still do. I work in sales now, and I do love the buzz. And so I was more interested in my job, and like, you know, you earn quite a lot in sales, and then someone goes, "Oh mate, do you want to drive to Bristol for 15 quid?" And you go, "No, I don't." So at first I was a bit like, I can't be bothered with this. But then when I found out the other guys, because I'm quite competitive, when I found out they'd done so many, I was like, I need to up my game here. So then I started booking in gigs, and I went to Mirth Control and got so many open spots, like right across the sort of south of the UK. I was doing easily 2 or 3 open spots a week. like just absolutely smashing it every night, and it was great. I then got the bug for it. I then wanted to do it, and then I started doing gigs in in London, like one-offs, and then I got like a big booking agent saw me and then started booking me for like really cool gigs, like quite early into what I was doing. So then I was like, oh, this is great. Like now I like it. Whereas before I wasn't that interested. And then when I had my gig, my Barnstable Comedy Club, I opened that in 2011, December 2011. So I've been doing comedy for a whole year and I've done no gigs. And then when I started my own gig, that pushed me, because then every month I had to write something to MC it, and then I had to learn to MC, and then like that sort of like steamrolled me then. And then I'd meet like Sean Walsh is like my comedy hero. When I was before I was a comedian, I went to see Stephen K. Amos, and he was the support act. And I'd never seen live stand-up. I was like 26 or something like that. I'd never seen it. And I went to the show and I was like, Sean came on, I was like, oh my God, this guy is so funny. Like he was doing the routine about when you stand up on a bus and you bang your head and you have to look. And he goes, it's weird because you know what you've banged your head on. You know what it is. You bang your head, you look up, you go, oh, it's the roof. And then you go, oh, and then everyone laughs and then you carry on going. He said, because if you don't, you look mental. You can't stand up, bang your head, and then just walk straight off a bus. Like you just look crazy. And when he was doing that whole routine, I was like, God, that's really funny stuff. And so I then thought, oh, I'd like to do comedy. And then my friends were like, oh, go do open mic, do this. And so that's when I decided to have a go at it. So when I started running Barnstable Comedy Club, I booked him. He came down and did his tour show at my 60-seater venue and in a little cafe. And it was him and Ramesh Ranganathan came down. Ramesh was his support act. And that's, Ramesh obviously wrote about me in his book. That was the night he put about me in his book.
Just letting the cat in.
You letting in? You got a special guest?
The cat came to the window. I opened the window and the cat fell off the window. I just feel like I pushed the cat off the floor.
The cat thought you had a man in the house. That's what it is. Cats come up like, who's that geezer in the house? Yeah. Right, my lighting's really bad.
I don't get accused of asking serious questions, Luke, but now we've got you on this train of thought. I'm fascinated to ask you this. So those first 10 gigs, those first 10 gigs you did, even if they were spread over 1 million years or whatever, but you did 10 gigs before you started your MCing. Did you do the same material and develop a type 5 to 10, or did you go random?
I didn't know how comedy worked in the beginning. So when I did my first open mics, my 3 open mics, I did just chatting on the stage. So I just went up and talked about what happened in my day. And they liked it. I was like, oh, this works. But then on the 3rd night, I tried it and died. And then this other act was like, oh, what material was it? And I was like, I just went up and chatted. And he said, no, you have to write a set. Like, you have to have material. And I didn't get that. I just thought people just got there and chatted. So then I went home, wrote something, went to the competition, and then when you win it, you have to come back and do 7 minutes. You do 5 minutes on the
Wouldn't know.
So I went back and I did I went back to do the 7 minutes for the final, and I thought they said you have to write a brand new 7. So I wrote that 5, and then I wrote a 7 for the final, and that was my winning set. And then I combined those 2 sets together, and then once I sort of like got rid of the fat in the set, it worked out to be like 5 minutes. I used that 5 minutes probably for the first 20 gigs I did, and then I ditched it and never used it ever again. And then just started writing new stuff. And then I ditched that, and then I'd go on to new stuff, and then ditch that. And then it was only really in 2015 that I started 2014, where I started to find like my comedy, who I was, not stuff I was writing to make people laugh, but stuff that made me laugh. And then I go, oh, maybe someone else will laugh at that. And so I started digging a bit deeper like, on who I was and taking the mickey out of me a bit more and my personality traits. So like, you'll notice in my set, I talk about being working class a lot and how my kids are posh, and I take the mickey out of that, and violent situations that I've been in, like, you know, because I always take the mickey out of people, and then if they want to fight you, it's really funny. And so like, I'll write about, you know, my stupid behavior when it comes to that. And so that became more my set, whereas like my old stuff was pretty harsh. Like I used to have a joke about how read the book on Anne Frank, and I just thought it was a bit depressing for someone that had a loft conversion in the 1940s, and that's not a very nice joke. And so but I wrote that because people would laugh. People were like, oh, you know, they find it funny. But now I go like, oh God, that's a bit harsh. And then I had a joke about do you remember JLS, the band?
Yeah.
They just started getting famous, and they brought out their own condoms, and their condoms said "Just Love Safe." And I said, I'll take that. Couldn't do that because it's just a little bit too aggressive for condoms. Like, take that, you know, you just can't have that. That's my early jokes. So I used to write stuff like that, and then you know, when I found my personality a bit more in it, when I decided to be more confident about me, then my set progressed into like, I had like an hour at one point, and then I went to see Jill Edwards in Brighton, and then she was just like, that's generic, that's rubbish, like that, it's been done a million times. And I walked away with a solid 20 that was really me, and then I developed from that. And what she taught me in writing, I then went away with that and was like, oh, well, I'll do that method in every bit of writing I do, and it's worked. It's done well.
Oh, who was that again? You said, was it Jill Evans? You said
Jill Edwards. She trained up Ramesh Ranganathan, Jimmy Carr, Angela Barnes, Sean Walsh, and she's a really, really good comedy coach. She's very good if you're brand new because she does workshops that are like a couple of weeks long, and most of the people go for her workshop come out transformed. Like, you know, if you're naturally funny, she's going to find that in you, and she'll develop it. And then if you're a bit more advanced in your comedy, you can go to her and she'll just spend one-on-one time with you and actually go through your entire set. Because there was stuff I had stuff on like Crime Watch where like, do you remember when Crime Watch was on TV?
Yeah.
So I used to, for a laugh, if I was with my friends and stuff, and I used to stick to Zoe when I first got with her, Crime Watch used to upload their list of criminals in the daytime before the show. So I'd go on it and like research someone and then sit and watch the show. And then, because you always think you know someone, don't you? And then the Crime Watch list will come up and say like I'm with Zoe's parents or something. I'm like, cool, I recognise number 9, like that. And they'll start going through the list and they go, really? Oh, yeah. And Zoe's like, oh, he always thinks he knows someone on there. I said, no, he looks like a new guy at work, Billy. So he just moved down from Bournemouth, like he's a real top guy. And then it'll get to him, they're like, oh, this is William blah, blah, blah from Bournemouth, convicted killer, escaped from prison, otherwise known as Billy as well. And our parents are like, oh my God, you have to call him. Luke, you have to call him. So I used to talk about those stupid things on stage. And when I went to see Jill Edwards, she went, mate, so many people have done Crime Watch jokes. Like, that's not original, it's not funny anymore, it's just overdone. So I was like, oh man, I have to get rid of that. So I got rid of that, and there was loads of other bits that are generic. So once you kind of get through that, and then you have your proper stuff that's you, then you're good, aren't you? Well, not good, but like, you know where you want to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that 5 minutes only lasted about 20 gigs. Then I had a 10 that was about a year, and then after that I developed.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Especially when there's the stuff you know you should drop, but you really like that stuff and you like saying that stuff, and if it gets a good reaction, it's kind of it's hard then to let that go, really, isn't it? I
think the toughest thing with comedy is when you have got that solid 5 minutes that you've absolutely owned, and then you've got another solid 5 minutes you've developed, and you go to a show and you do your new stuff first, and everyone just loves it. And then you do your old stuff and you go, it's not as good. And then that kills you because you're like, oh God, that stuff's dead now. That's gone forever. I can't ever use it again because it's rubbish compared to this stuff. But Jared Christmas gave me some advice when a couple of years ago. I can't remember who he got the advice from, but he said, for like a writing thing, start your set on the joke you finished on in your last gig. So whatever gig you're doing, whatever routine you have, that last gag that you finish on, your big finisher, take that and then bring it to the beginning. So when you start your gig next time, you're opening with your biggest joke. And when you do your next joke, you will literally have to make that joke work because the big one you've just told, this has to follow it. And what it means is, by the time you've rotated that entire, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, by the time you've rotated it, you would have done every single joke. Every single joke would have opened, every single joke would have closed, every single joke would have been in the middle. And it means that each bit will get stronger. And I can give you a really good example of that. Sometimes it won't match up. And I did a joke about, I don't know if I said this on the last show we did, but it was about the bouncy castle. And I talked about how I got mistaken for the bouncy castle owner, and it was really embarrassing. Now, that worked when I'd done a whole set on being working class, but if you open with that, people are like, what? But then I said, oh, so I just took a booking. And then people laughed because I did out of panic. And then I was like, oh, and then I took a deposit. And so that helped me develop that one joke that I had into a little bit of a set. And then by the time I rotated that and it became part of the end of my set, it was way much stronger. It had loads more to it. I was able to add to it. And that's how I developed those bits. So I follow that rule now. Even now, I rotate my set and just try and push myself, because the fear of opening with a joke that you're not confident with is horrible, isn't it? It's like doing open mic.
Yeah, that's the bit I've always struggled with is the opening, because part of it will depend, to me, part of it depends on the audience and like what's happening in that night. Like if the guy before you or the act before you died on their arse, and the MC isn't, maybe they've not quite got the audience going again, or things happen in the room that I will feed off, and I would rather come on all guns blazing and going right than going, well, I need to stick to my material. You've got to go on, and it depends on the situation. Like if it's a competition, I always really struggle because I'm like, I just want to go on and do my best, but my best is generally when I'm being chatty and warm and friendly, is what a lot of people see me as. And or when I get compliments, it's like, oh, you're so warm and friendly. Like, oh, thanks. So I always feel like
I'm opposite to that. If I come on and they're like, they really ramp up the room, I feel like, oh, I've got to keep this momentum. Like you're there, and it's like, oh god. Whereas when I MC a lot, I'm always like, don't tell the audience. I'll just go on. And so I'll just walk up on stage and be like, oh, how's it going? And that way, there's no expectation, and then I can just slowly bring it to my level then and be happy. But yeah, when you walk on, it's like Glee, for example. Lucy, have you done Glee spots yet?
No, she hasn't yet.
No, because that fucking disease got in the way.
Okay. So yeah, you've got the comedy carousel that you can do when it's back open and everything. But Glee has got a real electric atmosphere, and they have the same music playing every time before you go on. It's really like buzzing, and the audience, I mean, for them, it's stag parties and hen parties and birthdays, and everybody's there for a great time. And you get on stage, and it's like, wow. If you open with a shit line, it's the worst gig in the world. It's like, oh god, it's so difficult. And I've done. I think I've done all of them now. Yeah, I've done all the Glee clubs, and they're all just so intense. But the Birmingham one, that's like the buzzing one. That one's amazing.
I've done Cardiff and Birmingham, and I did Carousel at Birmingham a couple of times, and it was just brilliant. They set it up so well. And the Glee in Cardiff is brilliant, but they can be a harder audience, I think. I'm not just saying that for me, because Glee Cardiff is only an hour away. Before, like the year before, the pandemic, I just used to go there like once a week to just watch the acts, because I wanted to see, I wanted to analyse, right, who comes here? Who are the audience? Because otherwise you just go in.
She's the only one with her back to the act.
Yeah, she's just there looking and going,
Who are you?
Mate? God, Jonathan comes a lot, doesn't he? You're a hairdresser, are you? So your hairdresser for the MC. That's lovely, hairdressers.
Well, I was just, and so it's always interesting. I just love comedy anyway. I just love seeing the other acts and just love to see what's happening, and also as a female act, you don't often see other women. So I kind of wanted to know, well, what are the other women talking about? So that's what's quite nice about online comedies. Hopefully it will change, and we've had as many as 2 female acts on the one bill has become almost commonplace these days. No, 2 of them.
That's a booking error. That is a booking error. Someone got in trouble for that.
One of them might even be either opening or closing, Luke. It's quite a shock.
Who is your favourite female act?
Say again?
Who's your favourite female act on the circuit? Who's the one that really
On the
makes you?
circuit.
Say
On the
again?
circuit or like megastar? Just
No, just female comedian. It doesn't have to be a megastar.
I could watch a Millican all day. I love the filth. I love the filth with the face of a librarian. I want to hear about clotting. I want to hear about all that. Bring the custard jug. But I with that little face. I love the juxtaposition between butter wouldn't melt and bring the custard. I just.
Who's yours, Sarah?
it changes all the time. It's like asking who's your favorite pop band, like my number one. But at the moment, I'm for online. I really love Barbara Nice. She's
Bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
Because
See, my favourite comedian to see live is probably Susie Ruffle.
She is phenomenal.
She's brilliant. Have you seen her set on Getting a Cat and like the way her dad texts? She does this thing about her dad's always so aggressive and he's always like shouty, and even his text messages are like in capital letters, like Susie, how are you, Dad?
I love how she embodies all the characters as well. She really does all the you really get a sense of who they are when she's performing.
Yeah,
I drove a truck for a guy called Tiny. I'm assuming it's a nickname because he's not tiny. And apparently he's like, you should get in touch with Susie Ruffle. She's a comedian. And I said, so what am I supposed to say? And he's like, well, I know her dad. And I'm like, right, so I'm going to write to Susie. Hi, I'm a comedian. I drive a truck for someone that knows your dad. And I thought, I left a really pregnant pause and thought this would be a sarcastic eyebrow. And he just went, yeah, that's right. That is. She'll write back, let's be best friends. We'll go out for lunch. She'll plait my hair. It'll be amazing.
She is a comedy store in London, and I was so scared because she properly had it going in that room. Like the audience just loved her, and when the comedy store is like, it's all amazing acts, and I still do open spots there, so I go up and try my 10 minutes in the middle, and they introduce you. They don't tell the audience. They just go, we've got a special guest tonight and bring you on, and then instantly they're like, who the hell's this guy? And then you've got to follow someone like Susie Ruffle, who's just taken the roof off the gig. It's such high pressure. It really is. I always find it scary. It's the scariest gig I ever do, and the stage is really small. So like as soon as you walk out in the London Comedy Store, they're just on you, like from the side and the front. They're just it's really, and it's very high energy in that room,
Yeah, but it's very visceral. It's almost like a combative, because I've been on the Comedy Store stage. Because of my first year of comedy, I think I've done about 4 gigs, maybe 5. I went, I know, I'm going to do King Kong, like a knob, in London, with a guitar that I could play. And I did my Doctor Who song. Honest to God, I got booed off before I got to the chorus.
Did you?
Yeah, it was hilarious. I was like, thank you. Thank God for that, for booing me off, because thank you so much. Thank you.
I did that King Kong in 2012. I'd done like 30, 40 gigs, and I did that King Kong. It was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah.
I won. But it was the worst experience of my life because it was because I was literally about to go on stage, and the guy in front of me, I was the second act on, and they brought him on. I thought, I've got sort of 5 minutes here to get myself together, and he lasted 30 seconds. But he's gone on stage. I'm there, like thinking, well, I'll say this, and then I'll say that, and then it was like, gong, please welcome stage, we're going to write, and I was like, oh my God, and I went on into like autopilot mode, and just did it. And then I got the video footage on YouTube, and on YouTube the music goes off because I've won that section, and I'm just like, you can see on my face, I'm like, well, and I'm really shocked. I'm like, this is amazing. And then you have to do the final. What I didn't realise is you have to go on at the end and do the final, don't you? So then I had to go back and do the final.
Yeah, you do like a minute. They give you a minute, so no one like boots you up at the end. You've got to do a minute, and then the audience chooses who they want to win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who becomes the king?
I won that as well. Joking, Lucy. Well, I'm not. I did win, but it's a joke. I'm just messing.
I love the door, Luke, so much, but I fucking detest him as well. What do you want to be when you grow up? Him.
Are you going to do King Kong?
I remember when I was still very like in my brand new like I'm on like days or weeks into being a comedian, and my friend set me up with is it Dave? No, what's it? Nice and Spiky. The Birmingham guy where you get like
Spiky Mike.
And I ran it past Marcus off the course, and I said, "Can I?" And he just went, "No." He said, "It's a nice gig." He said, "But I wouldn't advise anybody in their first couple of months, let alone year, to do a gong." And I said no, and I'm actually really pleased I said no, because I feel like I'd be ready to do it, whereas before it would have just been the sound of blood gushing in my ears as I couldn't work out why everyone was looking at me.
It's a fair. When you do London Comedy Store, and like I say, even though I did have a good result, the actual fear of going on that stage when everybody is booing and telling people to fuck off, and like, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's worse in London than Manchester as well.
Graham Whistler's got cerebral palsy, and he went up on stage and he said, "Oh, my name's Graham Whistler, and I've got cerebral palsy." And this guy shouted out, "Terrible palsy," and started heckling him. And I was like, whoa. And then the MC got on stage and went, "Look, sometimes the audience have got it, sometimes the audience are wankers, and tonight you're being wankers. You have just literally heckled a man with cerebral palsy and then put on the next act because he got gonged off." It was horrible, mate. Yeah, it was a horrible. Yeah,
that's another reason why I wouldn't want to do a gong show in my first couple of months of being a comedian. It's like, and that's why. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Lucy would have booted someone in the neck. That's what would have happened.
We'll get my from the cab.
Can I confess as well, Luke? You know when you said who's your favourite female comedian, I instantly thought like of all time, and then it took me 5 minutes to realise. I thought Lily Savage, and then it took me about 5 minutes into what Sarah was saying for me to realise Lily Savage isn't a real person.
No.
She's a real person.
But when I watched Lily Savage, she is. Do you know what I mean? It's never. Yeah. I don't ever watch Lily Savage and think that's Paul O'Grady being Lily Savage. It's such an entire transformation, and I just, as growing up, I could have quite easily watched Lily Savage just all day, every day. And if I could be compared to one comedian in my life, it'd be like Lily Savage.
Lily Savage.
I'm really conscious of we could talk to you all day, but I'm really conscious of time, and you've been with us for we nearly finished this. So thank you so much for coming on again. Yeah. Just got a couple of questions I want to ask you from our lovely audience. So we've got huge anus. He's a regular, we love him. He says, "Hi Luke, with your in-depth knowledge of swimming pool design, what's been the weirdest request for an update on their wet hobby?"
Well, I don't know. I don't even know how to reply to that. What's the weirdest update? I don't know. What, a weirdest request for a swimming pool?
For an update? What's been the weirdest request for an update on their wet hobby? That's a puzzler. That's a thinker, huge. What do you mean?
I don't know what it means.
No.
So do you sell swimming pools?
Say again.
Do you sell swimming pools?
I sell swimming pool stuff to the builders that build the swimming pools.
Oh, cool.
So he's trying to ask if you ever had to build a swimming pool.
Well, like a sex swing in the swimming pool. We've had that.
Yeah.
We've had sex swing. Yeah, I've had one of my customers. He went to fix a spa at a nightclub, and when he came out, people were having sex everywhere because it was a sex club, and he didn't realise. One of my clients, we're talking about mega rich people here. One of my clients went to a house, and he could hear like, like pain. And he opened up the sauna, and the owner of the house was being beaten with a stick of birch with nothing on. And then he went, "Oh, don't go anywhere, mate. I want to talk to you about a swimming pool." I'm still getting beaten. And he's like, "Can you just change the skimmer basket when you do get a chance? And can you, And the girl, she went to stop. And he went, "Don't stop, carry on." And she was like, "Okay."
But I want double time.
That's true story as well.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. We'll end on that. Thank you so much, Luke. I just want to say
hi to
Angie as well.
Say quick hi to Angie.
Angie said hello as well before we finish.
Oh,
just
nice. Thanks. Hello.
It's all sorry, I've gone. We put all your socials on there. Yeah, hello, Luke. I think we did your last pre-lockdown gig in Devon. Big love.
We did in West Butland School. It was that was my last ever gig. That was pre-lockdown.
Not forever.
No, I did do a gig in Portsmouth just before Christmas, and it was I don't want to brag, guys, 3,000-seater theatre, and how many people in the audience? Oh, 36 people in the audience. And I said to them, have you cut the room off? Have you made the room smaller, sort of to accommodate? And they went, well, no, because of social distancing, we just sort of let them sit wherever they want. So not only was it a massive theatre with 36 people, it was literally like doing comedy in a bus station. There was people like over there looking like they're waiting for flights. There's people over there. I was just like, it was
well, fingers crossed. Sometime this year, it'll come back. It'll be a live
nice speaking to you guys again.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
See you again. Bye.
Congratulations.
Bye. He's gone. He's out the back door. He hasn't even gone through the dining room. He's out the back door. He's pegged it up the path. He doesn't care about the badgers. He just wants to go home.
Didn't even take his coat off. I kind of want. Can Luke adopt me as his comedy little sister? Is it like weird for me to ask him that, considering I'm a 39-year-old woman and I'm possibly older than him?
I think that's all right. I think that's okay. You could be a stepsister. Yeah. His parents remarried. Yeah. I think you already are. I don't think he has a choice. I think you would ask out of politeness, but I think once Lucy's got her radar track on you, you don't have a choice in the matter, frankly.
Because he's adorable and he is so funny and he
knowledgeable and so
he gives it all that, but he does. I don't think he fully sees his own potential. I don't think I look at him. I'm like, oh, it's Luke Honnoraty, and he's like, all right. I'm like, no, you're Luke Honnoraty. And he's like, what?
No, he's lovely. He's absolutely lovely. And yeah, it's weird because, time just goes. When you just turn around and think, you don't even think in terms of how many years it's been since he started. Not that I'm like pulling rank going, I've been going 11 years, But you just look around and go, oh my God. And especially when you go, oh my God, that guy, he's on TV now. I remember him at that open mic a few years ago,
Yes.
Kiri McLean I've gigged with a couple of times at the beginning, middle, and now. Oh God, Matt Richardson. Oh my God, he used to gig in Cardiff, and so it's just weird. And then I'm like, oh God, it's funny. It's funny old game. Anyway, that's a fun one to end on, isn't it? It's a funny.
It is. And for those of you that are baying for the information, where do I bring it up? So there we go. Boom.
Yay! Priya is like a rising star at the moment. She's on loads of gigs. She is definitely one to watch. So I'm so pleased that Priya's very happy to come on the sink next week. She's going to enjoy our vol au vents next week in the dining room and then meet us in the kitchen for a good old chin wag.
It's your turn to do the finger buffet.
Yes, I love a good finger. buffet.
I love a good buffet. Together we are.
Oh, I love a finger buffet by the bins. Right, and then I tell you what we haven't done, Miss O.
Oh my God, we haven't.
Who will we reviewing next week? What comedy? Can I make a suggestion? Well, I want to let people know as well. Our friend of the show, Chris Toppin, he's only gone and got a comedy special on Next Up Comedy.
Can you send us
whatever, Ray. I reckon you went to watch the Wrestling Lingus on Twitch, didn't you? Podcast, Ray said, sorry to miss the last hour. Priya is a rising star. We did miss you, Ray, and thank you for coming back. That's very kind. Thank you, Huge. Thank you very much. What should we watch? What's next week then, Lucy? What are we gonna? I was thinking, maybe we should. I don't want to review Chris because he's a buddy.
Right.
He's a comedy buddy. So right, what's it gonna be next week?
Right, okay, because I haven't been.
Oh no! Oh God! What year are we travelling back to now? Is it Charlie Chaplin?
1995.
Oh, it's not too bad. Right, go on then.
Lily Savage live and outrageous at the Garrick Theatre.
Fabulous.
On YouTube, full link.
Fantastic. Lily Savage. I saw it live. I'll keep the story for next week.
Touch your face.
Huh?
Shut your face, really.
Yes.
Do you know what?
When I was 19. So in Swansea Grand Theatre.
Statements like that makes me want to sniff your hair. I'm that much of a fan.
I'll sniff it for you. Smells lovely.
Was this the hair you had when you saw Lily?
Yeah. Hey, Cat's dog is back. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! I'm keeper of the game. Hey, how was the wrestling? Who won? Was it good?
Could you have sounded a little bit Welsher?
Did I sound well? How was the wrestling, boys? How girls? I don't know. Now that you're back, next week we are reviewing Lily Savage. So, and is it on YouTube, Lucy?
It is.
So if you want to join us next week, and I'm going to drink next week, guys. I'm gonna do B&M again because I really like drinking.
I haven't had a drink all week, so I thought, you know what? I'm seeing my mates there. Get some booze on.
Yeah, should both get hammered next week?
When someone says, I've had a hard day in work, what are you doing? Oh, I might go see Sarah Bridgman, Charlie Thomas, and Luke Honnoraty. Okay, because that's my life now. Sometimes it's not bad.
Well, it's messages like this that keep me going. Is that Kermit the Frog?
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, Kermit, keeper of the gates.
Right, so I'm just putting it on YouTube. It's YouTube's Lily Savage, 1995. Garrick, is it? Garrick. It's live and outrageous. But that's how you will find it. So, oh my God, I can't believe my homework is I got to watch Lily Savage. And I haven't gone old school for a while. But
no, that's not old school. Old school is when you do the 1960s. And it's
I know I am looking for a really old one. I want us to do a really, really old one. I might in a couple of weeks, if I'm allowed, there is a 1950s radio show that I like to listen to. That is filth.
Is it round the horn?
Because it's double entendre. And in those days, it wasn't like, the kids might be listening. In those days, the kids shouldn't be in the living room. It's grown up time now. And it's like, 5 p.m. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Children, come and see your father for 10 minutes before he watches the pools.
What's the name of the show? Is it Round the Horn?
Yes, it is Round the Horn. Do you like Round the Horn?
Yes, I love it. Yeah.
Hello, cheeky face.
Yeah.
Well, then, in that case, I am. I'll not going to surprise. It'll be a couple of weeks. But I do think Round the Horn is just. I just checking. I thought there was a cat in the window. I can't believe I opened the window to let the cat in and then just pushed the cat into a bush off the windows. She then climbed up like Terminator, getting in the back of a car.
Are you on the ground floor?
Yes, I am. Yes. Yeah. Right. So that's it. We've got the review set up for next week. We've had a cacophony of lovely guests. We have been absolutely spoilt rotten with delightful comments from lovely people.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank Dad's dog, Keeper of the Gates, Hugh, Phil, Ray, from tuning in and keeping us entertained. So, I mean, with that was the week. Good. I wasn't too fan on David Frost. Just gonna ruin it for you. I liked all of his writers, but not so much him. Brand.
As does Matt Goss.
Oh, of course, Matt Goss. We never did find out what happened with the mouse. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna. Is there anything you want to plug that you're doing this week, sweetheart?
Sweetheart? No, I'm going to put out a video, Sarah Slims. It's not comedy, but, you know, you could feel free to watch it and feel that sense of Schadenfreude. I haven't put it out yet because when I filmed it, it was very much, I've got to film like the intro and the outro, and I think I seem very miserable in it. So I was going to refilm it, but I'm like, I'm not going to refilm it. I'm going to put it out. So that's Sarah Slims. That's just my YouTube channel about losing weight. So if you're expecting comedy, don't.
I'm not mansplaining, but I don't think it is just about Sarah Slimming. I think it's about you taking on a whole new life plan.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it is. It's not just if it was Sarah Slimming, it could be just you doing. Oh, this week I'm just doing the soup diets.
Oh, no, I'm literally having a nervous breakdown. I think that's what it is. No, it's no. I talk about because I'm really into the psychology and how we think about things, and we are our habits. So I'm looking at like at the moment. I can't believe we're ending on this. But I'm like, I've looked for a diet. I've done every bloody diet out there. And this one is the starch solution. I can actually stick to whatever diet you do is the one that you can stick to. So it's about me actually doing the diet and seeing what the result is. So if you want to follow along and see how I'm doing on that, and we can share about how you're doing if you're also trying to stick to a healthy living plan. Then
by that I just try not to drink 4 days out of the week. And today, my friend, is Thursday.
Yeah, we'll just you know, I will take into consider the Keeper of the Gates is saying that we want Sarah shots at the drinking channel. That is generally what this is. I was just trying to be good this week. Lucy was drinking for me this week.
In fact, last week you drank and I didn't.
Most weeks I drink and you don't. But I just fancy a drink. I just really fancy a B&M special cheap. There's something about the B&M cheap booze. It's very sugary. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'll probably get to Thursday and be like, oh my God.
Is it tastes nice and it isn't that I don't find it too sugary, and with certain wines, doesn't matter what colour, you still get that like alcoholic bite at the end of it. And I always call it conference wine. If you've ever been to a conference and had to drink what they call wine and you go, oh yeah.
Feeling it literally.
You can hear the hiss and the fizzle of the wine going down your skin.
You know that you're going to be drunk for 3 days, so it's really efficient.
You've only been on white wine, you've got red wine lips.
Yeah. That's
coming up. I caught a clip then of our interview with Stephen Evans. And it jumped on to the most random point of him walking around and seeing people with red wine lips at 2:30, red wine zombies. And I was like, what the fuck did we talk about? Like, We should have like interview roulette where they just play a clip of one of the interviews to us and they go, right, who was that and what were you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was I there?
Well, Keeper of the Gate says, even though we finished now, guys. Keeper of the Gate says, diet-wise, best one I had was keto, but I'm kind of on slimming world at the moment. And Lidl's booze is the booze for me. Yeah, Lidl's has got good cheap booze, gotta say. Maybe I'll try Lidl's actually, because I've done B&M. The only thing with Lidl's, right, is quite often I'll go in and I've only buying a couple of things, and there is always a queue. You queue, and they're very, but everyone is buying so much bloody stuff, they haven't got a basket lane.
No, so, the shopping trolleys are huge.
Massive. And people are buying for a month. And it's quite small, and I don't quite. You've got a
self-service. Where?
Yeah. Where are you?
All the comments we have had over the last 36 episodes, the highest pitch reaction was for the Keeper of the Gate.
You got it.
It's a little.
I think a wheelie basket. Oh, Gravesend. Yeah. Right. When we're allowed out.
Right. Girls' night out. Gravesend. Aye. Hold me hair back. Hold me arm back, Gatesy.
Have you got any of you Lidl's Baileys, please? Lidl's Baileys, oh my god, what a treat, because there's like $3.99 for a bottle and it tastes exactly like the 15 quid bottle worth of Baileys.
Right, now he's talking about it. You've got a Mackie D. Sorry, for our podcast listeners, one of our Twitch fans, the Keeper of Gates, I gotta keep remembering to do this, he sent us a message and we're talking about Lidl's, which is a German supermarket, which is in competition to Aldi's. Apparently they were two brothers many years ago. And they're saying they've not only got self-service in their Lidl's, they've got a Marks and Asda's with a McDonald's takeaway inside of it. This sounds, I didn't know the Gravesend was this utopian state. It sounds more like an episode of Blade Runner than Gravesend. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm.
Well, let me make you jealous, because we in Swansea have got the only 2-story McDonald's. Yes, it's got more than one floor. 2 stories. There's an upstairs and a downstairs. The only one in Wales.
Newport's got one upstairs.
No, it hasn't.
Not anymore, is it?
But it can't have, because we've got the only one. Unless it's new, unless they've built it in the last 6 months. Don't look at me like that.
I haven't left the village in 6 months. Just quickly, whilst I've got everybody online as well, I'm just going to run through this. So we've had the fabulous, the wonderful, the beautiful soul, Luke Honnoraty on the 28th. So next week we've got Priya Hall. After that we've got Nathan Webb. After that we've got my fellow comedian from the Drop Comedy Club, Ira Summer, who is a New Yorker, but he's living in California. Oh, how crazy. Ooh. After that we've got, so that's Ira Summer. And after that we've got Paul James. And then we've got Robin Morgan, but we're hoping to get a lot more women on because that is just too much of a sausage fest for us.
Well, actually, we are looking for a super duper woman, because we've got.
I'll have to send that message tonight. Yeah.
International Women's Day coming up, and we want to interview a feminist, a full on. Can't just be a woman; it's got to be full on.
Why don't you, the viewers, the fans, and the listeners, why don't you tweet your favourite comedian and tell them that they should be on the kitchen sink, which is @TheSinkGirls is our Twitter handle. So be proactive, and why don't you tag who you think should be on the show? And if you are a comedian that's watching this show that would like to be on, try saying please.
Yes. Okay, and on that happy note, I've been trying to finish since 9 p.m. It's been very nice chatting to everyone. I hope you're all well. I hope you loved the wrestling, and we will see you next week with booze. Bye. Welcome to the kitchen sink. We will chat, we will make you think. You will not want to go to the loo. You could miss a lot if you had that poo. Stay and watch and join in.
Yeah.